So, Excel, how's everybody doing? All right, so let's get into it, right? So, it's our contention that we're still in a bear market. Bitcoin recently hit 79,500, and now we're seeing a slight retracement to 76,800. The current actions of Bitcoin, chart actions of Bitcoin, is similar to what Bitcoin was doing in 2022. If you notice, in 2021, we had a huge retracement at the end of the bull market. Bitcoin fell 50%, and then it came back up and it touched the 200-week moving average. And then in 2022, Bitcoin fell another 50 to 60%. And then it bounced again. And then after it bounced back up, it fell back down again another approximately 37%. All right. So in the bear market in Bitcoin, we've had two falls of approximately 50% and one fall at around 36%. The last fall was around 36%. So currently in this bear market, we've had a fall of 36% was the first fall. The second major fall after this rising wedge, the second major fall was approximately 38%. And now, if you look at the time period for the first rising wedge, this is okay. This is a weekly chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, around 11 weeks. And this one is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, around 13. So we're expecting a fall relatively soon to happen. And again, I have to premise everything with this is I'm using rhyming as far as what's going on, pattern analysis. Everything doesn't have to happen exactly like I say it's going to happen. And none of this is financial advice. This is just for learning and entertainment purposes. If you need a financial advisor, consult one because I'm not one. So, from what it looks like to me, it looks like a recurring pattern similar to the pattern that we had in the last bear market, where we had one, two, three falls. And currently we had one, two, we did not have the third fall yet. So I'm anticipating a third fall to fall right into the summertime, right? Because today is April 27th. So then there's May and June, so we fall into the summer, right? That rhymes. We usually fall into the summer. The saying "sell in May and go away." They say that because markets usually retrace around that time period. So we're anticipating that happening. Now, if you look at the third leg, the third time Bitcoin fell from the last bear market, you'll see that the fall, the final low, was not that far off from the second time it fell. It's significant, but actually it's about 30%, right? But like, let's say the first capitulation leg of the third fall to the bottom. If you were to match those two, you'll see that it's not really around 19%. It's not as much as you think it would be. So what that means is that if we were to fall, I would say another 20% from this last capitulation leg, because you also have to look at it as diminishing falls, right? Because we didn't go as high. 20% puts us approximately in the 40s, right? In the high 40s. In the worst case scenario, not the worst case, because it could always be worse, in the most likely high percentile scenario, right? Somewhere around there. So I'll just be on the lookout for that. And that could be a really good opportunity to pick up some of the leading altcoins, especially coins that you think are going to do really well. Maybe coins that are within the top 100 that are at a significant discount. Coins with a altcoins with a story that's going to make it, that's not going to go to zero in this bear market. Now, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, you will see that Bitcoin dominance was ranging. We spoke about this yesterday, and it broke out of the range, and now it's retesting the range. So it's a possibility that Bitcoin dominance continues to go up, and there's a high around 66%. It's a possibility that it reaches up to 66%. So I would hold off on my hopes for Altseason for um, quite a while, because it looks like Bitcoin dominance is still doing its thing. It's still on an uptrend. And even though it's not on a massive uptrend, it looks like we still have ways to go because we're still in a bear market. And if we look at ETH dominance, ETH versus Bitcoin, you can see that ETH is losing the Bitcoin, and it's been losing the Bitcoin ever since the start of the bear market, and actually ever since, really, since September of 2022, ETH has been losing the Bitcoin. So this is ETH versus BTC dominance, and you can see even though we have rallies, counter trend rallies, you can see that this is just going down, like that song. It's just going down. Yeah, it's just going down, and it's been going down for a very long time. And we did have a major counter trend rally, April of 2025, and this was a powerful rally because ETH rallied against Bitcoin 124%, around 125%. That's huge. But ever since then, um, since August of 2025, we've come back down, and now it looks like we're testing support. So if we break this support, ETH could have a mega, 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 mega move to the downside, right? ETH is currently at uh, 2,000, 2,281. If we drop down to the next level of support down here, that's almost a 40% loss against Bitcoin, with Bitcoin being in the bear market, and Bitcoin most likely looks like it's about to lose its support too. So ETH could get devastated on this next move, right? So just be aware, right? I don't think it's actually time yet for the great accumulation. That's my personal opinion. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. Remember, you take your own risk if you decide to make any moves based off of what you hear. It's your decision, not mine. But from my perspective, yeah, I think the market's about to fall. I think ETH is about to get devastated, and in so it's going to affect the altcoins. So that means that the altcoins are going to get devastated. If you look at a total three, excluding Bitcoin, you will see the total three is not the place to be. The total three seems to be weak at this moment. Um, it's in a range, but it's in a range taking a break from a downtrend, a major downtrend. And this is what happens in bear markets, right? And sometimes there are counter rallies. You could always say there could be a counter trend rally coming up to a moving average. But because of where Bitcoin is and because of how the charts look, at this point, total three is looking very, very weak. So this is an indication of what the altcoins are doing. And if you look at this trend line that's been going on since, wow, this is from March 2020. If you look at this trend line, if we were to come down to this trend line, that is another fall of, drumroll please, of 28%. So there could be another 28% bleeding here. And this bleeding is against Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin goes down and the altcoins go down against Bitcoin, this could be the final flush out when we hit this trend line. So there are four signals that I'm waiting for until I'm fully bullish on the market and I start, talking about the altcoins I like and start shilling my coins. Before that starts happening, there's four signals I'm looking out for, and I've mentioned some of them. The Bitcoin dominance indicator, ETH outperforming Bitcoin. I did not mention the liquidity returning to risk markets, but that's a big one, right? And then there's the rate expectations, the macro conditions, and the ETF flows. I'm waiting for all of these signals to align. Like the stars have to align, but I'm waiting for all of these signals to align before I get bullish on the market. So currently, I'm not bearish on the market. I've actually been shorting. I think 80,000 Bitcoin was actually a good short. I think 76,000 Bitcoin is actually a good short. But you do you, and you manage your risk and make sure you take responsibility for any decisions you make. Um, and then the altcoin market structure breakout. There's four signals. So stay tuned to the channel, and I'll give you updates as to what's going on with these signals, whether I think we're bullish or bearish. Have any of these signals been broken? And I will let you know what I see. And I'm going to let the Patreons know what I see first uh, in my Patreon group. I'm going to let them know what I'm buying, when I'm buying. So this is actually a good time to start to get in because you'll be ahead of the market. All right. So this has been Crypto Excel with your market update. And, you know, we expected this, didn't we, guys? We've been shorting since the top. We've expected this. I think there's more time. We're going to use the capital that we accumulate from these shorts. And when it's time to go long or to acquire all coins, the positions that we think are going to give us the best returns, that's what we're going to do. And you find out all about that in the Patreon. Take care. This has been Crypto Excel with your market update, and I'll see you at the